What is creativity? In my world, it's a combination of finding a group of people who are open-minded, jamming them together, and seeing what they come up with. We find great brains in a number of ways. Where do great ideas come from? I don't believe they are the preserve of people who call themselves creatives or who went to art school. I mean, I was an English teacher before I did this job. I strongly believe that you don't have to have had training in marketing or illustration or product design or any of those places that sort of end up with people converging on the sort of a creative path in their career. One guy actually I stalked. He had a blog in Copenhagen. I stalked him for about a year until eventually he agreed to come and work for us. Other people I've taken straight out of art college, or they might be people who worked in a different part of our business who you just realise have got something, maybe a way of writing or expressing themselves that you want to kind of steal them away from finance or IT, wherever they're working, to come and work with us in the creative team. So I don't think there's not a sort of set place that you find creatives. You find them all over the place. You don't need 100 people, maybe a group of 5 or 10 people whose brains you believe in. You'll get great results and great creativity from that kind of group. A great example of when Innocent has been at its most creative, and actually also been at its least creative at the same time, was when we came up with the idea to put little woolly hats on the bottles. Now, when I say we, it was one person's idea, a guy called Adam. He taught himself to knit, knitted a little hat, popped it on a bottle, and came in the next day saying, look what I've done. We're going to sell, drinks that wear hats. And immediately, the rest of the business, the great, the good, the wise, the founders, all thought it was a useless idea. And I found that moment really interesting, where somebody could have an inspiring moment, and his friends and colleagues tried to shoot it down. So there's something very interesting about creativity and ideas being quite delicate, and I've heard this from a lot of people about needing to be nurtured and protected, actually. Quite a lot of my job these days is protecting ideas from other people's learned opinions. So 3 things you could do in your office, maybe even at home, to become more creative. The first thing that I would do is to take a walk. Now that's not strictly in the office. Get away from your usual environment and just go out and walk around the block. And I find that if I've got a problem or idea in my head, it'll kind of grow just from almost staring aimlessly at the canal around the back of our office, or just looking at people walking down the street. Rule 2 would be to find people, and again, it's not necessarily the people who are called creatives in your office. Find people who you know will bounce ideas back at you, and probably criticise and shoot them down and try and make you, reinforce and toughen your ideas. And then the third thing about the general environment would be, one thing that has really worked at Innocent, I think, is having an office where people don't sit in sort of serried ranks of the type of job they do, or the their sort of superiority or anything. People sit in a mass jumble. So actually, quite a lot of the inspiration I get from around the business is just from the guy or the person sitting opposite me who does a completely different job. They might be doing a massive deal for buying 10 tons of passion fruit from Ecuador, and just listening to that kind of thing will start you off on a different track than just talking about my world all the time.